Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Wednesday, and you know what goes down on Wednesday? The best podcast on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, the Inner Circle Podcast. What's going on? I'm Charlie, and this is my girl, Melanie. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking gorgeous today. I told you before the show, I'm like,
Thank
girl, you're
you.
stunting today. Love that
I'm
color.
like, I'm feeling like a rich bitch. No, but listen, we didn't talk about Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was well. I mean, it was well. I cooked, and would you believe so much I cooked? Even my grandmother said, "Sweetheart, you cook like you were feeding an army."
Oh,
And literally, it was like her, um, my uncle who came. I cooked for my special honey bunches of oats, and I sent some plates their way for their family, and yeah. So, but it was good. I needed to recoup the next few days. Like I was
well,
silent.
yeah.
How about you?
So my Thanksgiving was great. Like I was, and I told my boyfriend like this was probably like better than last year. I didn't cook. That's probably why I was so happy. But I did help and assist by seasoning the pernil and the turkey. My boyfriend cooked everything pretty much, and everything came out great. We had so much food. I think we finally got rid of everything leftover wise. I want to say on Sunday,
Hmm.
and we had enough to like send leftovers to my family, to my boyfriend's family. Like even his family came and got leftover or got food on Thanksgiving. So it was awesome. I really enjoyed this year. It was very chill.
Nice, nice. I'm glad. Anything you do like during the weekend?
Besides catching up on sleep, I don't know why. It may be because I ate so much and I felt so much like I felt so anxious throughout the week or throughout the week with Thanksgiving, and like afterwards it was like I was waiting to exhale. So I just relaxed and then I did my weekly chores for the week. But nothing crazy. It was very chill. I did see the weather was a little crazy. Did you see that there was like flurries, I think today and like yesterday?
Yes, Sunday, definitely Sunday morning. I'm like, cause you know my view, so like I be standing by my window just looking out, and I'm like, oh shit,
It's a
flurries.
nice
It was
view.
Sunday. It was
Yeah.
flurries the day before yesterday, I think. So I'm like, oh hell no. But it was just like that flurries, exactly that, just flurries. This week, last week though, right after the next day after our show, we had I don't know if anyone's a RuPaul's Drag Race fans. As we know, Melanie and I are. UK crowned their latest winner, their season 3 winner. And spoiler alert, if you are UK fan,
It's been a while. You could
so
say it now.
I know, right? I know you're not too happy about it.
I'm not happy,
Let's
and
announce it.
and obviously I'm so not happy that I didn't watch the last episode. I actually got a spoiler on Instagram, and after that I was like, "Oh, really? She won? Okay, well, I don't have to see it." So, Crystal Versace won. The youngest drag queen to ever make it to RuPaul's Drag Race in any like franchise, I want to say, because she's only 19. I
Hmm.
think she doesn't have the experience, but she is aesthetically pleasing to watch and to like, and like she was memorable, but I'm more of a camp queen person myself, so I was going for Kitty Scott Claus or even Ella Day. She was like very funny and I liked her vibe, even though she was like, what do you call those like queens that are like like
Eleva Day
trade
is oh
trade?
trade. And I'm glad you brought that up because yesterday I was watching a video of like on YouTube of like RuPaul drag queen trades, and we all know Pearl is like a trade that I would like take
No,
down.
Cameron Michaels is the best
Oh,
trade.
Cameron Michaels too is another trade I would take down. But Eleva Day has definitely joined that list. I actually think Eleva Day looks awkward as a woman because he is so good looking as a guy. Like he really is.
He has like very like masculine features, like
Yeah,
his jawline and everything.
he's a
So
cute.
that makes sense. But I mean, congratulations to Crystal Versace. I hope she doesn't fuck it up and doesn't get
Fuck it
complacent
up.
like some young queens, Aquaria.
Ooh.
So
Um, this week also seen. I don't know if you watched the Soul Awards. Ashanti received the Lady of Soul award, and she also performed a medley. She definitely took me back. She performed a bunch of hits. Definitely, listen. Ashanti used to annoy me back in the days, Melanie. Like I
she
don't know
still
if you
does.
know. Ooh, she used to annoy me. Now I appreciate her better. I don't know if it's the bops that take me back, but like. It was good to see her perform. Like her performance was cute. It was like a 10-minute medley, and she received the Lady of Soul award. Do you think it's deserving?
I think it's deserving. Even the versus battle that she was in, I mean, with what was her name? Keisha Cole. I think she did great. I unfortunately that versus battle was kind of like disappointing because Keisha didn't bring it. But when she came out with Fat Joe and I think was it Ja Rule, I don't remember,
Ja
but
Rule.
she has yeah, she has a lot of bops and a lot of collaborations and she did a great job. So I think that yeah, she's deserving of it. I wouldn't say so. I would say R&B or
Lady of
I
Soul.
don't.
Well, but I mean, I definitely think it's funny because I was thinking, I'm like, wow. Ja Rule came out for her performance, so did Fat Joe, and it just made me think, like, for us, because she's from our era growing up, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like so old. But when you really sit there and think about it, Melanie, like, she's been in the game for, can we say
She was
two
a little
decades,
bit
a
older
decade,
than us.
over a decade?
Yeah.
For sure. So it's like, damn, Ashanti has
She's
really been
relatable
around.
too.
Yeah, she's been around.
Yeah.
So I have to give it up to our people from our generation that came out when we, growing up, our teens coming into our own coming of age that are still hanging on. So if it's good to see that. So shout out to Ashanti. I didn't appreciate you before because your music got played annoyingly. My mom used to play some of your songs so like
Oh
annoyingly a
God.
lot.
I
So
hate
it's like
I will say I don't like the song Foolish because
that song,
no.
that one, because it got played so much, and my mom will play like it got played on the radio. My mom will play that like it was a lot. I think there's some songs or people that I was annoyed by back then because my mom just
Yeah.
freaking played the shit out of those records.
And now you listen to them, you
Of
think about
course,
your
I
mom.
appreciate it. I
So,
appreciate it. And I appreciate my mom for that, instilling good music in me. Um, but let's get into we have a special guest and we're excited about this because we've been eyeing this guest for a while
so
and
excited.
yeah, and it's finally the universe has a way of hey, all good things take some time. We have no other than we're about to bring on, he is the creator and the host of Brough Chat. Definitely, if you don't know what Brough Chat is, we're gonna get to know the man behind Brough Chat right now. Welcome, Mitch, to the show. What's going on,
Hey
Mitch?
Charlie, hey Melanie, hey.
Hi.
How are
How
you?
are you?
I'm good. So good, so good. I'm excited. This is actually my first time being on someone else's platform. Usually I'm in the chat room going back and forth with the bros, moderating, but this time I'm kind of like I get to, step
We have
back a
the
bit.
pleasure of
I like
interviewing
it.
you. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and getting to know you, and let's do that because we have our circle friends. We call them our circle friends watching right now, listening. They may not be watching live. Some may be streaming the episode later. Let's get to know you, Mitch. Let's start it off before we start asking you the questions. Let's do a two truths and a lie.
Oh, okay.
Let's do two truths and a lie. Let's see if Melanie and I could guess what's the truth. So, do you have something for us?
Yeah, so I auditioned for Big Brother. My last soda was in 8th grade and I wear glasses.
I think I kind of think I know which one's the truth, right? We're guessing the truth, right? Two truths.
No,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
No,
guessing
we're
the
guessing the
lie.
lie. Like the
I'm
lie.
guessing the lie. Which one's a lie?
Jeez,
I think
my
that
own
the lie has to be that you what was the second one?
the
All
soda.
right.
I think it's
So
the
give
You
me,
should have
let
soda.
said
me say them all. So I auditioned for Big Brother. My
Hmm.
last soda was in 8th grade, and
Damn.
I usually wear glasses.
Well, you look fit, so I would say soda. You don't drink soda.
Okay.
No, but the lie. We
I
have
think
to
that's
guess
the
the
lie.
lie.
That's the lie. The
Oh,
lies. Oh wait,
that his last
actually.
soda was in 8th grade.
My last soda was in 8th grade, so I don't drink soda anymore.
Hmm.
So I think you audition for Big Brother is the lie.
Okay.
I
Can I
think the
say
lie
it?
is that you wear glasses.
Okay. So I auditioned for Big Brother, and my last soda was in 8th grade, and I wear glasses sometimes. Sometimes. Not all the
Everything
time.
is a damn. Everything is true.
Whoa! Oh my god, I played it wrong. I did it all wrong. But I don't wear glasses regularly, but I do wear glasses
Do you
sometimes. But
supposed to
sometimes
wear glasses?
Huh.
I'm supposed to wear glasses.
Same here, but I don't. I hardly wear them. Hardly
I
wear
don't. I have 20/20 vision. Thank God.
'em.
Okay, so
Justin
I
Timberlake.
won.
Yes, Melanie, yeah, Melanie, you're right.
All right, so now let's get to know Mitch the Man. You are the host and creator of Brough Chat. Let the people know who don't know what Brough Chat is, what Brough Chat is all about.
All right, so Brough Chat is all about the foundation of Brough Chat is brotherhood, and the foundation of Brough Chat is diversity of thought. But I created Brough Chat in my mind when I was in high school in Germany. It was a dream, so I would always talk about it. But I wanted to make it a reality. I wanted to make it a plan, so I started to schedule it, and I'm bringing Brough Chat back, and it at the center of it is diversity of thought. Bring bros together from across the country to discuss debatable topics or relatable topics.
Love it.
That's
And
awesome.
what are some of the things that you usually cover on Brough Chat? Talk on Brough Chat. What could people expect the content if they're tuning into Brough Chat?
So Brough Chat is in a lot of ways like the guy version of the View. So folks can
I
expect
like that.
intense debate a lot of the time because we're not always going to agree in that chat room. But we
Oh,
just
I've
finished.
seen.
Oh, it gets it can get crazy, but we just finished talking about Potomac. The reunion just ended, and coming up soon, we're going to talk about Salt Lake City. We're going to talk about Girls Trip, and then over time, transitioning over to current events. It's going to evolve.
And that we love, I love that word. I love that you use that word evolve because that's what it should be. You should be able to target and hit different demographics. So I love that you said evolve. Um, Now, when it comes to Potomac, you said Potomac. You cover Potomac. We've been covering. We just did our first ever Real Housewives whole episode where we covered some of the franchises. Let's get into Potomac. I don't know if you want to start this, but where should we start Potomac? What did you think of this season of Potomac?
Yeah, you
So
can.
this season, I was very excited because it's the season we're coming. We don't have Monique. We had that binder, and I think a lot of curious to see, okay, what is Giselle going to say to Monique? How is that interaction going to go next season? But Monique wasn't there. So it almost felt like it could have been a tremendous void, but it turned out to be a good season to me. I actually enjoyed the season. Now, I think the reunion was not as binge worthy as last season's reunion to
Oh,
me.
I agree.
I agree. I think that with Monique not being there, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really care for Monique between that, and that's something that we were talking about like prior to the show. I was like, I wasn't Team Candace, but I could see where she was coming from. Now I'm like completely not her in her team, and Charlie was Team Monique. Um, I feel that Mia was a great addition to the group, but I also feel like Giselle has again been able to like light a fire and just walk away from it. And she didn't really get like reprimanded as much as she should have with the whole Wendy and Eddie rumor. Do you agree?
What do you think was Giselle's biggest fault in that whole thing? Do you think she shouldn't have brought it to the ladies? What do you
I
think
think
was
that
her
if she
big?
was going to bring it, I think what she was going to bring it, she should have addressed it and brought it to Wendy herself rather than have Ashley do her dirty work like Nicki Minaj agreed. And I also feel that she implied that Wendy was making up by getting plastic surgery done because her man was looking elsewhere rather than at home. So I just think that that's very misogynistic to say.
Right, right. And I think that's a view that a lot of folks have, especially looking in. I see it a little bit differently, only because I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, we're seeing all these uh, Eddie rumors and all that. I would expect for one of these ladies to bring it to the show. Now, I think that when you have Giselle and you have Ashley corresponding back and forth about these rumors, Giselle can't control how Ashley moves. Ashley is going to be, if you look at her tagline, she's going to be messy.
Messy. Yes, but and I agree because Ashley, let's be reality, she did not have a storyline.
Listen, I like
I
Ashley.
agree with Nicki Minaj about that. She just because you've been in the show for 6 seasons and you've brought drama doesn't necessarily mean that you can be coasting now and just be like, I'm gonna start some drama and then just walk away from it. Because that's basically what she did. Now, how do you feel about Candace and her the way that she was arguing and fighting with Mia?
Um, the thing about Candace is I think a lot of folks think that you can poke at Candace and then, because thing about Candace, which is very interesting to me when I look at it, is Candace is somebody that if you shove her, she's gonna push you down on the ground. So her response a lot of time is very unproportionate to what's happening in front of her. But I do agree when Candace says, I am simply a lot of the time responding to what's in front of me.
She's orating. I hear that she can hit the jugular, but I also feel like there's also ways where you can make your point and not like diminish someone, and that's something that she tends to do. Like she's very good at like assassinating someone's character
So
after
really
she
quick.
feels bad.
So really quick. I know she orates and she uses her words, but she also picked up salad and tossed it at Mia first. Is that not a way of somewhat? Yeah, it may not be fist, but that's a way of getting physical. Is that not like kind of like antagonizing? And yeah, a way of getting physical. Like you throw salad at me, I'm gonna throw food back at you, or maybe grab you by your hair and like mollywop you.
Yeah, Charlie, I want to talk about that because I think that's a really big point. But I do want to mention something. I want to go to what Melanie said, which is really interesting to me. Like, because I do think it's true that folks do say that Candace does go low, like she can go low, especially when she's going back and forth. Uh, but let's not forget about Karen. Karen did say point blank during the season that Giselle had a hot box, and I think that is pretty like
But
beyond belief and appropriate.
that was inappropriate, but that was hearsay from a blog. So that was her
Well,
evidentiary support, basically. So, I mean,
I know, but
yes,
like
you're right.
we're not having those where I think that when we're at the reunion, we're looking at the reunion, folks are not trying to have those even conversations. They want to hold Candace accountable. They want to chain her to this uneven standard of accountability that all the ladies are being held at. Because Karen has said some. I love Karen. I have
Yeah.
when you Google Karen, you'll see Karen Huger Shade. That is me. That is my page. I love Karen. But I really appreciate the fact that Candace was prepared during the reunion and said, hey, Robin, don't forget you went over to Ashley's restaurant and did that. And she really was ready to call out the
That's true.
ladies, the double
I give her
standards.
that. I give her that. How do you feel about Nicki Minaj hosting, and like do you think she did a good job like going to each person and addressing them?
I think I think Nicki Minaj did a great job. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of it. um, because I was really zooming in, trying to see who is her favorite. Who is she going to be partial to? But I think that she definitely showed favoritism, which I don't mind one bit because she was there to give her opinion. And I think she definitely did do that. And I think she was across the board hitting at everyone. It wasn't just trying to be too hard on one side or the other. Like she was good across the board.
I do think I did realize something, and I want to get your insight, Mitch, and also Charlie. You can put in your 2 cents. When it came to the part where she was addressing the rumors of Robin and Giselle being secret lovers, I thought that that was a reach. And on top of that, the whole um, Michael Darby, Ashley's husband, and Juan Dixon being friendly with each other and texting, and Juan being a straight man, texting with Michael, making it seem like does Juan have gay friends? I think that she was trying to cater to the LGBT community, like almost saying that Michael Darby was gay. And I find that to be kind of like, we all know, if you know Nicki Minaj, she hasn't been very supportive of the LGBT community from the past. Maybe she's changed, but prior to now, she's said comments of like wanting it to be traditional, wanting marriages to be traditional,
She
and things like that.
revival. Yeah.
Right. So she made a point to say that there are a lot of straight men who wouldn't be friends with men that are gay or in the LGBT community. Do you guys find that she was relevant in saying that, or was it like a not non-relatable to the subject at hand?
Mitch, I'll let you take
I,
that, I guess.
I think what Nikki said was I think she made a really real statement because it is true. Like in the Black community, especially, there's a lot of apprehension when it comes to the gay community, and there's a lot of homophobia in the gay community, in the Black community. It is just the point blank truth, and I think that folks need to talk about that a bit more. And because I do understand, like someone looking at Nicki Minaj and making a statement like that, oh gosh, that you no one says, no one talks that way. Why are you mentioning this? But I'm glad she mentioned it. But what I didn't like is when we're talking about Michael and we're asking questions the way Nikki is it matters the presentation of how you deliver these questions because it almost seems that we're putting a question mark on Michael's sexuality.
Yeah.
And not only, I want to add, I think in my I'm just lucky. I'm lucky in this sense. In my experience, when it comes to straight men, I'm blessed. I'm blessed in the sense that I have four supportive brothers who they will kick ass. They will fight someone in the street for me. Like they support me. Like I could tell stories of like how some of my brothers visited me in New York have popped off because someone said something disrespectful towards me. I'm lucky in that sense. I'm also very blessed in the sense that I do have straight men, whether it's courtesy of my brother's straight friends or whatever, but even brothers not related, I've had straight male friends. I remember my first job, McDonald's, that I hung out with these straight guys that were very cool and supportive. So I feel when Nikki said that, it takes away from the progression that we have, that I feel, I'm a millennial, the progression that I feel we have made, it like the LGBT community has made with support of straight people, because it is out there. I do truly feel there is a lot of straight men out there who are way more supportive, or at least understanding, or I'm having a brain fart with the last word I want to say, tolerable of the LGBT community. So when she said that, it kind of was like, because I feel like there's been progression.
Yeah.
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 I definitely feel that there's been progression, but all not to go off of Potomac. What did you guys think of the last 3 minutes, like the last few minutes, the last 3 minutes of part 4, the hot mic situation there? Did you guys peep that?
With
And
Chris,
what did you ladies? What do you fellas and ladies think?
all I want to say is I want a husband like Chris because he supports Candace even
As
when
a
Candace treats
Pisces,
him like shit. Oh, he's a
ride or
Pisces?
die,
Oh,
ride or die, even when the
okay.
person may be wrong.
Exactly. So, yeah, even when she it has an attitude, like her song Drive Back, even when I catch an attitude, I come back to you. Literally, he was supportive. I felt like he was like, getting defensive over the questions that she was getting from Nicki, and I think that Nicki put her on the spot when it came to the
Well,
singing.
I mean, the next day after the reunion on Twitter, he had some choice tweets
Oh.
for Nicki.
Well,
Yeah,
listen, not just on Twitter, but also on Instagram. With Brough Chat, I have
yeah.
my rotation of guests that visit the chat room. And Chris Bassett saw one of our Bro Chats and he had some things to say. And he gave his view on what he heard the bros say and followed up with a slight slam of Nicki Minaj. And it's all on the Bro Chat page. You can take a look at it there. And
Yes, check it out.
Candace followed that up with commenting under that post, on that Bro Chat post, basically telling everyone to focus because her newest single's coming out. Is it enough? So she's telling everybody to focus. But yeah, not just on Twitter, but on Instagram too.
Mitch, we have a question real quick, not to go too off base, but as the questions come, we want to ask from our circle friends. Who? Oh, wait a minute now, it disappeared. Who is an influence of yours out there in the podcast world, entertainment world? Who are you influenced by? Podcast,
Oh,
TV talk show host.
well, I would say Barbara Walters is like the number one icon for me, as far as just because we're talking about The View, a show that's centered around diversity of thought, where
Mhm.
you're looking at folks show up from day to day, from week to week, willing to tell the truth about how they feel, and it all started with the vision of Barbara Walters. So Barbara Walters is my number one. I love Barbara Walters. Yes. Oh, and RuPaul is not like, well, he has a podcast.
Yes.
I'll say RuPaul. I love RuPaul. RuPaul is like my Scorpio everything. And also I'm say
Twin.
yeah.
I love RuPaul. Now, we're gonna move on a little bit from Potomac because we want to pick your brain of a few other things. But back to Potomac, what did you think of Candace's reluctancy to sing live when she was asked to sing live for Nicki and not knowing her numbers? Like she was getting bombarded with like, so how many records did you sell the first week? As an artist, how do you think, how did you feel about that whole situation? Her not knowing her numbers, reluctant singing.
Well, I don't think that Candace gets enough credit for being a new artist, and she's completed and accomplished so much in such a short window, in such a short time. Like she really has. Like you're on the Real Housewives of Potomac. You are the first housewife to be on the Kelly Clark daytime TV. Kelly Clarkson, not just to chat about one thing or the other, but really promote your song and your album. Like she's really done some massive big things, and I can understand her hesitancy when it comes to singing in front of this group in particular, because I already knew that if she were to sing, she was going to get some shady eyes. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like it's not a safe place,
Well,
perhaps, is what
even
she
that,
felt.
even so, I think when Nikki asked who thought that she was gonna be, like she was gonna like blow up and have like a hit single, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, I thought she was gonna do okay." Like they weren't like fully supportive, which is kind of fucked up. But at the end of the day, I do want to give her credit. Like she is advertising herself and promoting the most I've seen. And she can sing. I've seen her sing, I've heard her sing on Watch What Happened Live. Maybe she wanted to sing a gospel song because a gospel song sounds better to sing. Like you can belt out a gospel song than her actual drive back song.
Well, she was
So
saying that she wanted to sing a gospel song because she could show off her vocal range. But
right.
the way I saw it was I feel like she wants to sing a gospel song really because it's harder to critique Jesus
Uh-huh.
when it comes to you singing your.
It's
Come
hard
on.
to critique Amazing Grace. Y'all remember in Potomac, I mean not Potomac, Real Housewives of
House
Atlanta
Atlanta,
reunion,
Portia,
Portia sang Amazing
Amazing
Grace?
Grace. But listen, Flatline is an underrated song from Portia. Flatline is an underrated song. Have you checked out Portia's Family Matters? Mitch?
Not yet, but I did see her interview on Tamra Hall, and I thought it was very
Mm.
interesting. I think she said a lot of, she gave a lot of interesting tidbits, talking about R. Kelly, talking about, the whole file, and she actually
Yes.
shaded Fallon a bit, and I'm gonna post that on the Bro Chat page, but just talking about how Fallon was interested in being a housewife, and she didn't make the cut, wasn't exactly what they're looking for. So basically, kind of giving her a little bit of a
Yeah,
bullshit.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
She did. I watched Watch What Happens live, and she definitely was shady Fallon there too, and some other ones too.
Mhm.
Definitely some other housewives as well, including Marlo. What's your thoughts on Marlo getting a peach finally?
Marlo getting a peach. I was so energized to see it. I think Marlo has been like the best friend that we've ever seen on the show, where she
Yeah.
has had probably a longer she has more history on the show and more iconic moments than a lot of the peach holders too. So
Ooh,
this is a triumphant moment for Marlo. So I'm curious to see how is she going to perform when she actually, what is going to be the difference between having Marlo as a friend and having her uh, actually be a peach holder. I think it's going to be great television because I think she's going to deliver differently than we've ever seen Marlo deliver before.
Yeah.
and what are
And
your
she's gonna
thoughts?
be more open now.
Mhm. And what are your
Yeah.
thoughts with Sheree back coming back?
Um,
Yeah, to think about it.
I don't know. I never paid attention to
Well,
Sheree.
I heard today, I
Like he
actually
does
heard today that Sheree having a problem right now with
with
filming
her man.
because her man Tyrone, he like filed a cease and desist to
Towards
Bravo.
Bravo.
Yeah, and the production company because he's like, why is my name being brought up? I shouldn't be featured. I shouldn't be filmed. I'm on house arrest, and you guys want me to film on a restaurant. You don't have to go. You're not obligated. Like that's insane. So
Yeah, but she had basically a whole scene set up. There was pictures a few like weeks ago where she's outside of the restaurant, and basically they're gonna make it seem like she got stood up by him. So editing. So I get when I read this article, I get it, and I sided with him. I sided with Tyrone. Go call Tyrone. I sided with him with that. Especially it's a law. You just got out of jail. Like it's very tricky. Like I get it. But Miss Sheree, she wants her peach back, and she wants to make.
Yeah, and hopefully she can hold on to it.
I know, same,
That's
same.
kind of
I
the
agree,
thing.
Mitch.
I like consistency. That's what I like most. That's why Potomac is my favorite show because the fact that we have Karen, Giselle, Robin, Ashley, four OGs that have been there, solid, consistent. I want to see Sheree hold this peach and keep this peach. That's gonna impress me.
Ooh,
right.
yep. Now you mentioned that Potomac is your favorite Housewives franchise, correct? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Housewives ever?
Who's my favorite on Potomac?
Favorite. Well, I'm assuming it's gonna be a Potomac lady because that's your favorite franchise. But who's your favorite Housewives ever out of like
You can go a
Housewives?
top three.
That's really tough because I remember there was a period of time where I was like crazy about Kenya, and then now I'm kind of
Oh
just like
Lord.
obsessed with Nene again because even the haters, even if you're a Nene Leakes hater, you can't love Atlanta without loving bits of Nene. So that's really tough. It's really hard. Like when it comes to my favorites, I guess I gotta just say like just Potomac across the board. Like there's nothing else outside of Potomac. I think Potomac is the best. Now, I do have favorite cities. Like I have Potomac's number one. Then there's
Mhm.
Salt Lake City is number two for me. And then number three is probably, I would say, um, Atlanta, Beverly Hills, back and forth.
Right.
Question: have you ever watched New York or New Jersey?
Never.
Wait.
Okay,
Well, she's making
that's
that
a
face maybe for New
revelation.
York, but for New Jersey, Mitch is my favorite. The first franchise Housewives I've ever watched, believe it or not,
Uh,
was New Jersey, and my favorite housewife ever. Her birthday is a day after my mom's, so she's a Taurus as well. Teresa,
Teresa Judice. Yeah.
and I met
yes.
her. I met her. She complimented my puppies.
We met her.
we both
She's
met her.
obsessed.
I, Melody's like, this asshole will always say that story. But she complimented my puppies. But yeah, we met her. We went to a book signing. It was pretty cool. She was really nice. So different
Yeah.
from what the show is. Like, just really nice. And I love that like, yeah, you may be portrayed or edited or whatever, because we can't always blame it on the editing because some of it is you. But like, what matters is when you take the show away, the person you are. I feel. And she was so cool and so humble. Like, she was so cool. So cool. I love
Yeah,
Teresa.
I I know Teresa from Celebrity Apprentice because I've seen every single season, every single episode of Celebrity Apprentice. I've never missed an episode of that show. And I got to know Teresa through Celebrity Apprentice. I never watched her on the Housewives, but that's how I know Teresa best from that show.
Wait, so who was your favorite apprentice?
Winner?
Well, winner or
Contestant?
contestant? Yeah.
Lisa Gibbons. Lisa Gibbons is my
Lisa Gibbons is
favorite
good, yeah.
contestant and my favorite winner of Celebrity Apprentice. She wished me happy birthday years ago. Like, she's just my favorite everything.
Who's your least favorite? I'll
On
go
Celebrity
first.
Apprentice,
Omarosa.
I don't know. Do I have a least favorite on Celebrity Apprentice? Celebrity Apprentice is some of the greatest television. I rewatch seasons regularly. I don't know if I have a least favorite contestant. Oh wait, oh okay. How about this? Arnold Schwarzenegger was the host when
Yeah.
when President Trump was our president, and I remember who was on that. Kyle was on there, and Kyle left real early, and I
Kyle
don't
Richards?
know. Kyle Richards was.
Well, remember Nene Leakes was on. I'm
But she
catching
was on
Trump.
when she was on when Trump was still hosting it though.
Yeah.
She
Well, that's all I
was.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I'm casting
was.
Trump checks, honey.
I know. Yeah. So good. Such a good
What
season.
What do you think of the newly released? I don't know if you've seen it. The newly released trailer and reboot, because they're coming back after years being gone, of Real Housewives of Miami.
Miami, I haven't seen that trailer yet, but I have seen like the art and the cast
Right?
photo, and I feel like I'm looking at like I don't even. It looks like a high impact girl group
Right?
or something. I'm like, what in the world?
It gives
They
me
look
very
dynamic.
like
I love
they look
that.
like pussycat dolls.
Yes, Pussycat Dolls. Yes, Melody, that's exactly right. Pussycat
Yeah, I
Dolls.
love the marketing. I'm like, whoa, fire! Like, okay, I see what y'all doing. Reboot Peacock.
Yes, Pussycat
So
Dolls.
tonight is actually the premiere of Real Housewives of Orange County. Do you watch Orange County, or have you ever seen any episodes?
I've never seen Orange County, but I'm actually really interested. They have a really beautiful looking cast. The initial
Yeah.
photo that I saw just was so good looking. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen on this particular season because there's been so many changes, and I know that particular city has had some trouble in the past. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to see like what the
Right.
season. I think I may watch.
I was listening to Radio Andy today and Andy Cohen Live, and he was saying that this season is going to be like really good for the books because they've been slacking in the previous seasons, but also they have a first lesbian housewife, the wife of Martina, the famous tennis player Martina Navratilova.
So we're talking about
I think that's
Miami
her last
right
name.
now.
Is that Miami or
This is Miami.
OC?
No. This is Miami. Miami has the
Oh.
first lesbian wife.
Okay, so it's
of a
Miami.
wife. Yeah, that's Miami. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
You didn't know
But
that? Did you know
also-
that, Mitch?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
we
like
have
that.
a first time ever lesbian. So like, yo, I liked Miami before, but of course now that it's back in the reboot, like I'm Latino too, so it's like, of course, like I gotta represent and watch
Yeah.
Miami. And we were bummed. And Melanie's from down there as well, from Florida, so it's like we were bummed when it got canceled, but now that it's back, like we're all in, and we have Peacock.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be great. It looks like it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
It is. So, what are your thoughts on the Real Housewives? I want to call it All Stars because that's what it is, but they're calling it Ultimate Girls Trip. So, have you checked out any episodes, and what are your thoughts?
I have looked at a few episodes of the girls' trip, and initially I wasn't energized about this particular cast, but then watching the episodes, it gets you glued. Like you get glued looking at these women together. And it's been such a just a centerpiece of excitement for so many people to have like an all-star season. I whenever I think about these housewife shows, I always think about the reunion. Who's going to be sitting at the head of these couches? And
Me too.
my prediction, I think Kenya and
Kenya,
Ramona are leading
yes,
this
of
particular
course.
You
What do
trip.
you
think
Yeah.
think
we're gonna
about
get a
Kenya?
reunion from Girls Trip? Do you think we're gonna have a
Probably.
reunion?
I hope.
I would
I
That would
would
be
love
hope.
it
so
to, but I don't
odd.
think so. I don't
I
think.
hope so. That's a good question. I'm gonna
That's a
have to
good
call Andy
question.
and ask.
Because they're all in different cities. It's not like they're all like, you
And
know.
Kenya's currently taping for Atlanta. Like they are, Kyle's currently taping for Beverly Hills. So I don't know if the schedules is gonna work out. I don't think we're gonna get reunions from the All Stars.
They got to make it work. They got to make it work because the fans want to see that. Let's recap the end of the first
Yeah.
season of Girls Trip.
No, I agree because I have questions. What do you think of the Cynthia and Kenya? I don't know how many episodes you watched, but the dynamic of that. Portia definitely had a great take on What Happens Life, which I agreed. I definitely called that. That's why I love my girl Portia. But what do you think of the dynamics between Kenya and Cynthia on this season of Girls Trip?
I think it's interesting because I think that what you're looking at with Girlship, you're seeing Cynthia in a new light. And usually
Flip flop.
Cynthia doesn't land in too much hot water on because she started to get in a lot more hot water, especially towards the end of her time on Atlanta. You saw her in, with the your we recorded your voice talking about Nene, stuff like that.
Yep,
Her a
yep.
lot hot. But now we're seeing her the tide a little bit turning and it's seeing. But I think that Cynthia is a lot like me. She is a ride or die friend. Those ride or die friends like Cynthia Bailey, Heather Gay, folks like
I
that.
love Heather
Robin
Gay.
Dixon. Those are the type of friends that you want next to you, and I relate to that.
Cool. Hey, listen. I agree with that. Now let's get Melody. Do you have any questions?
No, I agree.
All right. So I I have a question. I have to go back to Nicki Minaj. Um, or whoever called out Giselle on her looks that she is aging. Who was that,
Oh,
Andy?
Wendy called Giselle on Twitter turkey neck.
No, I know, but
Uh,
someone implied going back to that reunion
It
that
was
Giselle.
Nikki. It was Nikki. She said, "Do you
Yes.
think your looks are fading? It's been 6 seasons. You look different than you've initially started." I honestly think she looks better, but also we just had a pandemic. Everyone looks busted and tired. Like if you didn't gain weight during the pandemic, you were probably like on your fitness swag. So like I don't know. I thought that that was kind of really messed up for her to ask that
As a
question
woman, right?
as a
That's not
woman.
bringing
Like
it up.
you're not supporting women by saying that.
What did you think of that?
I think she asked that question just to kind of bring it back to what Ray said initially, because Karen did this whole thing about wishing death on Ray, directing that at Giselle. So I think that's the reason why Nikki brought that question. Do I think it's true that Giselle's looks are fading? I don't think so. Giselle is beautiful,
She
and
is.
I don't know. I just didn't take it as much of anything because I don't think her looks are fading. Potomac has a gorgeous cast.
They
Oh
do.
yeah, for
They
sure,
do.
for sure. Now,
The Green
before
Eye Bandits.
no, yeah, they do. They do. Hey, Nicki Minaj was basically hitting on Robert Dixon. I'm like, oh, wait a minute now, what's going on here?
Hmm.
Now, Mitch, before we get into some fun, we're gonna get into a game that I have set up for you and Melanie, and I'm excited about. Once again, where could the people? I know I had questions on YouTube of where could we watch Bro Chat? Is it an app? Is it where? So this is your time. I like to tell people, our guests, this is your time to sell yourself like a prostitute. Like, where could everyone find you? Your social medias, like, let them
Well,
know.
you can find Bro Chat on Instagram at Bro Chat. It's actually part of my surname, Bro. Uh, Brough Chat. You can find it on Instagram and all the contents there. And then over time, sometime next year, you're gonna see Bro Chat on YouTube. So all that's coming, but right now it's on Instagram, BROUGH chat.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And where could they personally find you if they want to follow you, keep up with you?
Right there, Mitch what?
There you
Mitch
go.
what on Instagram.
So now it's time. I have a fun game for you guys. This one I like to call it "Who's Got More Instagram Followers?"
Oh,
Housewife edition. So I'm going to be popping up on the screen, and for our excuse me viewers watching live right now, if you don't know who these ladies are, the pictures will pop up. If you're listening, well, use your imagination. Um, of some ladies of different housewives franchises, and basically Mitch and Melanie are going to guess which of these ladies have the most followers. So we're going to start. Let's do this.
Let me grab my phone and go on
Go.
Instagram
not
real
your phone.
fast.
Melody.
Oh wait, that's cheater.
Kidding. I won't. My hands are right here.
All right, so here we go. First one, guys, and let me make sure I get my notes and everything together. First one: Karen Huger or Cynthia Bailey.
Okay.
Karen.
Cynthia.
Who has more followers?
Cynthia has more followers.
And you
I
say
think
Karen?
Karen has more. Yeah, Karen.
Nope.
Cynthia has more.
Cynthia definitely has more followers. And I'm
Cynthia,
going to
that
put it up.
flippity flopper. Okay,
3.5
Mitch, you got that
million.
one.
3.5 million. And Karen has 442,000.
Oh
All
no,
right.
the Grand Dame needs more people, more
She
followers.
does. She definitely does. There's no
I,
doubt
I
about
do
it.
love Karen. Next. Here we go. Teresa Giudice or Larsa Pippen.
Larsa looks like Ariana Grande in this picture. I want to say Teresa.
I'll say Teresa. I don't know the other woman.
She's from Real Housewives of Miami.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to watch that.
Ooh, wow. Well, it just hurts me too, but Larsa Pippen actually has more Instagram followers. 2.4,
Really?
while Melissa, oh God. Teresa, if you're watching this, I did not mean to call you Melissa, but Teresa has 2.2 million. 2.4 versus
What? No,
2.2.
she bought bots. Those are bots.
That
The,
bots.
I know, right? Not views, not buying views. Next, Portia Williams or Kenya Moore.
Portia.
Portia.
Yes, she does. Portia has 6.6 million Instagram followers, while Kenya has 2.1. And fun fact, Portia, I'm not gonna give away just because the other one is part of the list. Portia's the second most followed housewives out of all the franchises across the board.
Who's number one? Candy?
Yes, she is. Candy.
Ah.
Yeah, Candy is at number one with 9 million. Next,
Wow.
Monique, my girl, or Giselle Bryant. Monique Samuels, both of Potomac, or Giselle, well, formerly of Potomac, or Giselle Bryant, currently still on Potomac.
Now this is actually really tough. This is really tough. But I would have to say Giselle.
I want to say Giselle too because I don't want Monique to have more followers than Giselle.
Well, sorry to break it to you, sweetheart, but the girl who's not on the franchise is the one that has the most followers out of all those ladies on the franchise. Monique is the most followed Real Housewives of Potomac housewife with 621,000. Giselle trails her behind with 614,000.
That's not that far.
So, well, for someone who's not on a season, and that's my girl. I see something good when I see it. All right. Well, not always, but that's a different episode. The last one, certainly last but not least, Miss Nene Leakes, the one, or Eva Marcille.
That's easy.
That's
Nene.
easy. Nene. Lanithia.
Well, guys, This shook me. This shook me too when I was doing my thing. But you guys are both wrong. Eva Marcel actually has 4.5 million followers on
What?
Instagram, while Nene is behind at number 4 with 3.9 million followers.
That's shock. That's the
Yes,
biggest shock on the out of the
I,
list.
that's why I threw it in there. I had to throw it in there. But this was a fun
Wow.
game, no? I love that one. That was a
I
fun game.
enjoyed it.
That was a fun
Yes.
game. So, Mitch, once again, we want to thank you so much for coming on the Inner Circle podcast. It's been like we've been wanting to do this, especially us as Housewives fans.
It's come full circle.
It's come full
Literally.
circle in what you do, so we're excited. Hopefully, listen, you're a circle friend now, so you're welcome back anytime you want to come back.
Thank you.
You're welcome back anytime you want to come back. Once again, Mitch, really quick, where could they find you before we go?
So at Brough Chat on Instagram, BROUGH chat, or MITCHWHAAT with 2 A's. MITCHWHAAT with 2 A's.
All right. And with us, the Inner Circle podcast, you can find us. You can subscribe, follow right here on YouTube, Facebook. We are also on your streaming platforms, iHeart, Google Podcasts, which we're excited about that. We're on Google Podcasts now, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So definitely make sure to subscribe. Our Instagram, the Inner Circle Podcast as well. Our link trees right there. Our Facebook as well. You can find our link tree and everywhere you can follow and subscribe. Melody, anything else you have for us?
Thanksgiving has finished, but you should always still be grateful.
Yes.
I
So
want to say one thing. You two are such a great duo. I enjoyed every minute of this. It was just so fun. I enjoyed every minute.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you, and we're gonna end it in gratitude real quick. Like we said, we here at the Inner Circle, we like to end it, wrap it up. We're ending it in gratitude. So, Melanie, take it away.
I am grateful for having an outlet like the Inner Circle, because I can have a crappy day at work and look forward to something like the podcast and having a guest on, whether it's Mitch or just me and you, Charlie. Like it's a sweet like ending to a hard day's work.
Facts. Mitch, do you have do you have something you're grateful, thankful, blessed that you want to share with the world?
I'm thankful for this year. I'm thankful for all the opportunities that I've had in particular, and all the inner work that I'm doing. And I get to just bring that inner work outward, which is so exciting. So that's what I'm most grateful for, the opportunity to do that.
Awesome. And listen, this week, I want to say I'm grateful for that. My wifey, Britney Spears, is free. Tomorrow's her birthday, her 40th birthday. So I am so thankful that she is free after over a decade, and she gets to celebrate basically her first birthday in a very, very long time. So I'm thankful for that for my girl. Shout outs to Britney Spears. Happy birthday, Mama. We love you. And we will see you guys next week. The Inner Circle podcast. Next week we have from Family Business on BET, Arrington Foster joining the circle. So make sure you tune in for that. We are out. Love you guys.
Bye. That was so fun.
That was